Today we're going to be shooting with the Ricoh XR-10. This is a pretty old camera. You can pick it up for relatively cheap, I think under 50 bucks honestly. Maybe even under 30. It's a camera that I got from my grandfather, and it's been sitting on my shelf for God knows how long, a couple years now. I want to shoot with it today. I just loaded in a roll of Kodak XR-10. I'm here in Puerto Rico. It's about 2 o'clock. The sun's really high. I have my Bronica with me too. I'm saving that roll of Portra 400 for a little later when the sun goes down. But while the sun's high, figured I might as well shoot some landscapes. This is a film I've shot before in Portugal, and the shots came out absolutely beautiful. I'll share some of those with you. I shot that on the Olympus Trip 35. Again, a relatively cheap camera, beautiful results. And I think it's important to keep in mind, especially for film photographers, hobbyists, professionals. You know, if you're on YouTube, you see a lot of content around getting the newest camera, getting the most popular camera, and oftentimes that comes with a pretty hefty price tag. But you don't need it, you know, not every time, especially for hobbyists. I would encourage you to thrift a super cheap camera, load a roll of film in there, and just start shooting. Shooting film is already expensive as it is, and if you know you're waiting for that opportunity to get a Mamiya or a Leica, you know, I think pump the brakes if that's what's stopping you from going out and shooting. Get a cheap camera, load in some cheap film, go out and shoot. That's what it's all about. So I'm about to head out, walk around a little bit. This is my first time using this camera, so I'm not sure even if these photos are going to turn out well, but we're going to try. So here we go. So I'm using a light meter app. It's my first time using this one, and I found it a little challenging, but this will have to do in the meantime. It's giving me f8 at 1/500. There we go, that's a beautiful frame right there. Beautiful. Now, normally I would trust the automatic mode, but because it's such an old camera, I really don't want to risk it, and I want to get more comfortable shooting with a light meter. I think that sort of hands-on, tactical learning is how I learn best. Something that's really tricky about this camera, when you're changing the ISO, it's so close to the shutter button that I've already pressed it a couple times while trying to change it. Jesus. Good. So one thing to know, I have to be really careful because I've already wasted about 3 frames. Not ideal. All right, f8, 1/250. That's beautiful. I'm gonna go portrait for this one. And beautiful. Really loving the Ricoh so far. I shoot so much professionally with cinema cameras, and recently with medium format, carrying the Bronica around, and this thing is so light. And I've been really craving just a light camera that doesn't feel like a burden to carry around, and that feels enjoyable and really motivates you to want to go out. There's nothing worse than wanting to go take pictures and then second guessing because of the effort it takes to carry a heavy camera. So loving that about it so far. About to pull off and drive around and look for some beautiful scenery. Shouldn't be too hard. It is gorgeous here. Ooh, this abandoned building looks really cool. It's much less bright here. Nice. 1/150. I'm gonna shoot 1/125. Beautiful. The sun's a little lower now, so took out the Bronica. I've got a roll of Portra 400 loaded in there. This is my first time shooting with this film. I've only been shooting Kodak Gold 200, and those photos turned out okay. I think the biggest issue with those photos wasn't the film I was shooting, but I was having some issues with the battery. I'm excited to get a little flexibility with the shutter speed. But yeah, I'm gonna walk around the Bronica and see what I can get. Something I've been working on this year is waking up earlier. I am a notorious night owl. When I say night owl, I mean 7 p.m. to 3 a.m. I love editing at night. It's quiet, it's peaceful, not very many distractions. But when it comes to shooting film, I find I do my best work in the morning. Something about waking up with the sun is really inspiring. Unfortunately, I am not the most pleasant person to be around in the morning. I am extremely cranky. But, like I said, I'm working on it. Today we'll be shooting some portraits down at the beach with my partner. And yes, this was another cranky morning. So, shout out to her for putting up with me.
Era un domingo en la madrugada, anunciando los rayos del sol. Yo cantando mi voz, mi guitarra, cuando Francisco Ponce murió. Se anunciaba la pelea de gallos, él llevaba el suyo pa' jugar. El gallo de Francisco cantando, a ver quién se le pone de rival. Yo cantaba dentro del palenque y la gente empezaba a apostar por el gallo de Tomás Valente o el de Francisco, ¿cuál va a quedar? Jueguen los gallos, señores, se oye gritar. Jueguen los gallos, señores, ¿quién ganará? Pero el gallo de Tomás Valente, ya cansado, empezaba a perder. Y con un navajazo en el cuello, la sangre en el suelo se podía ver. Francisco levantaba su copa, mientras yo sonreía con Tomás. Vi a Tomás levantar la pistola y 3 balazos darle a su rival. El diablo cantando en el palenque, el gallo de Francisco de pie. Muerto el gallo de Tomás Valente, muerto el gallo de Tomás Valente, la vida de Francisco se fue.
Beautiful sunset. Just waiting for a few cars to pass. Here we go. No cars, please. Beautiful. I see a beautiful view of the pier. There's a bunch of kids jumping off into the water. Let's see if I can frame this up.
How do you choose a script? How do you know which movie to choose?
I think, well, if I pay my money to go and see it in a cinema, then I think I'd like to work on. No, I mean, if it's something, it's like, what book do you read, you know? You read a book and it affects you, you read a book and get halfway through and it's not doing anything for you. It's the same thing. If I read something that moves me, affects me, I feel it has something to say about the way we are, then that's interesting.
One of the most important lessons I've learned shooting film is that you will make mistakes, and not everything goes according to plan. I decided to bring along another old camera, the Yashica MG1. You can find this camera on the market for as cheap as $20, but don't let the price tag fool you. This camera is capable of producing beautiful images. Unfortunately, when I got the film back from development, the roll was blank. Now, this could have happened for a host of reasons, but the most important lesson is that these things do happen. It's important to be patient when you're learning new skills and not to get too discouraged. Now, I haven't given up completely on this camera. Ultimately, I think it was a user error with how the film was loaded. All I can do now is imagine the images I would have captured and prepare better next time. If you made it to the end of the video, thank you. I really appreciate you watching. I saved some of my favorite photos for you. This was an incredible trip, and it definitely won't be the last. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. So with that being said, enjoy. I'll see you guys next time.